a special episode today. We're going to visit a neon shop and go inside and see some neon signs being fabricated. And then we're going to go to a bunch of mom and pop stores that have neon signs too. I'm going to go and check them out. We're going to go inside an appetizing shop and get some food, some appetizing bagels and lox, and we're going to go into an old guitar shop. Today is in TriBeCa, and the easiest way to get to this area is to take the N, R, Q, or W train and get off at Canal Street Station. Let There Be Neon right here on White Street by 6th Avenue has been in business since 1972, and they fabricate neon signs. It was founded by Rudy Stern, but Jeff Friedman, a longtime employee, has owned the business a long time, and he does all things neon. Not only do they make new neon signs, but they also refurbish old neon signs. So we're going to go inside and check out what they're up to today. We were lucky enough today to not only get a tour of the entire shop and speak with the owner, but we also have a special guest with us who shares our love of all things neon. This is Jeff Friedman, the owner of Let There Be Neon.
A wide variety of clients. A lot of artwork, a lot of restoration work, film and TV, restaurants, visual display.
And of course, we became interested in your neon shop because we are big fans of neon signs. And we know that you've worked on refurbishing some of our old-time favorites, including Russ Daughters.
That's correct. And thank you for the babka, may I say. But the truth is that neon can last for decades and decades, and the best part is that when it does fail, it can be repaired.
There's a lot that goes into making a neon sign. It's a multi-step process. First, there's work in the art or layout department, designing a sign and preparing drawings of actual size for the sign's fabrication. So Jimmy at Let There Be Neon is working on this neon sign. If you know, you know. And what he's doing now is he's bending the glass tubes. Unlike conventional incandescent bulbs, neon lights consist of a glass tube filled with rarefied gas charged with electricity. Glass bending is a highly skilled craft and takes years to master. After the tube bending is complete, the glass tube is evacuated and filled with the specified gas. It's then sealed and fitted with the electrical components. There's also a sheet metal, material, and paint shop downstairs where all the finishing touches are completed. You also created the neon signage for the original Rivington Guitars when it was located on Rivington Street, and then their newer signage for when they opened up their new Unplugged store. Tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so what was great working with Howie at Rivington is obviously his shops are just so beautiful. And It's musical instruments, they're vintage instruments, even the new instruments are just drop dead gorgeous.
Tell us about the new neon signage that you created in 2014 for the Russ Daughters Cafe.
So that was great because Josh and Nikki have such great vision, and their instructions to their design team, so they brought to us a updated version of the existing vintage sign for the new location. So it's exactly the same specs we use with the addition of the word cafe. The color of the body, the font used, the typeface, the style that it's an open-face channel that fishes,
right.
The classic Russ and Daughter fishes. All the original neon colors, because we have a huge stock of vintage rare glass, we use the correct colors on the new sign.
So Let There Be Neon is a true mom and pop business because not only is Jeff Friedman working, but his daughter Molly has joined the family business as well.
Do a little bit of everything. I work downstairs in production, I work upstairs here, I do rentals, I'm working closely with my dad back and forth. It's just great. I mean, I've been around it my entire life, so it just feels really natural.
We really love the collection of vintage clocks that Jeff has restored. We have a special guest star today. This is Josh on Instagram as Sign of the Time. And just like us, he loves all things signage and neon.
When I was a kid, my grandfather and my father were involved in work that brought them to a lot of small retail stores. And I loved all those stores. I loved the shop owners. I always loved hanging around in the stores. And over time, I started to notice that those stores were disappearing, weren't around anymore, becoming chains, and that we were losing the flavor of our neighborhoods. That was around the time that I discovered your books and fell in love with your books and started buying those books as gifts for everybody that I know. And I started an Instagram page, and we ended up meeting each other, becoming friends, and I met Jeff at Let There Be Neon here, became great friends with him.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Because we're on the ground floor, we still welcome people in.
Right, people are free to come inside and look at the front of your showroom. It's like a little gallery of neon.
Yeah, and it changes all the time. I mean, it's a working studio, so at any given time there could be, pieces being created or prepped for installation or pickup. But at the same time, we welcome the public.
All right, I got to brush up on my skills here. I don't know. I'm ready. Up the points. Our next stop today is at Russ Daughters Appetizers on East Houston Street by Orchard, where Jeff refurbished their iconic vintage neon sign back in 2008. So we're here at Russ Daughters Appetizing Store, and it's been in business since 1914, but it actually started before then. It was founded by Joel Russ, who was an immigrant from Poland, and when he came here to the United States, he originally sold appetizing goods from a push cart on the Lower East Side, and then he saved enough money to open up this physical store. And at first, it was called Russ Cut Rate Appetizers. Now, as you can see from the neon sign, Russ and Daughters, this is the first physical location that had "and Daughters" in the name, because back in the early 1900s, most businesses were passed down from father to son, but Joel Russ had only 3 daughters. So when it came time to think about who would be, taking over his store, what he decided to do was to add the "and Daughters." And the reason why is because all 3 of his daughters worked at the location, and they happened to be really beautiful teenagers. And he realized that at that time there was hundreds of appetizing stores in the Lower East Side because there was a big Jewish population and there was a lot of competition. But because his daughters were so pretty people would come into the store and shop here just because they wanted to flirt with the daughters, and sometimes maybe there was a little bit of matchmaking going on, who knows. And to this day, it's now run by the fourth generation co-owners, Joshua Russ Tupper and Nikki Russ Fetterman, and they're descendants of the Ann daughters. So that's really, really cool that it stayed in the family, because there's not too many generational owned businesses today. So be sure to take a number when you enter the store.
Anybody got any more as we go along?
After looking around the shop and seeing all of the smoked salmon, caviar, herring, cream cheese varieties, breads, dried fruits, and nuts, we decided today to go with their specialty sandwich, which Herman lovingly prepared for us.
Well, this is actually a Norwegian salmon. The reason I chose this was it's right on the perfect spot. It's right in the middle of the side, so you're able to do like uniform slices, and it's also a little fattier. Okay.
So Herman, while you're preparing, can you tell us when you first started working here at the shop?
Oh boy, if my memory don't fail me, I started October 7, 1980. You can do the math as well. So we're ready to make the perfect sandwich, right?
You got it.
We're gonna have, you can use any kind of cream cheese, but this is actually the plain cream cheese, very smooth. This cream cheese is all natural, so there is no gum, so very smooth. And when you're eating a smoked salmon like this one, which is very mild, you don't want a cream cheese that has like gums or anything like that, because it will take away from the texture and the flavor. All right, we got a perfect base here right now. So we're going to remove the cream cheese. Okay. Should I talk about the slicing as well? Whenever you're cutting salmon, right, the first thing you need is a real sharp knife, right, so you can see right through it. This part right here is edible, but for the look, for the static, we want to take it off. But some people like that. They think it's the best part of the salmon. The fat part right there.
Good, thank you.
And how long did it take you to perfect your
Slicing technique?
Exactly.
The best way to compare this is like riding a bicycle. The people will get on the bike and they start running, and like if they be riding all their life. There's some other people actually fall maybe 10, 15 times before they get it.
Right.
But slicing is a combination of your elbow, the wrist, right, the knife, and your vision. So when you're slicing, you want to make sure that the angle is about 45 degrees. So I often say, like, if you're cutting one slice straight down, but that has to be done with movement. So whenever you move the knife back and forth, you're going to create like little hills or bumps, but the slice should be straight. Now I can do that with movement, and in order to do that, my elbow needs to be completely steady, right? And let the knife do the cutting all the way down, right? Then when you lift it up, you have a perfect thin slice. Let me take this out. Can you see through that?
Yeah.
You can read through it. Now if you go back here, you see that it's very straight.
Yes.
For that, you have to practice. Normally that would be enough salmon, but since I caught it, I'm going to put it over there. Now we're going to put some onions and tomato. That would be the perfect. I guess one slice would be enough. This is a big tomato. As you can see, I use both hands. I have a lot more precision with my left. There's actually an interesting story because up until the time that I came to work here, they don't allow any lefty to work behind the counter because they figure that if you're cutting with the left and everybody's cutting with the right, there's a conflict of interest and then you could cut somebody. So Sydney, his friend's father, Sandy, right? Sandy's father, who was here for 40 years. When I first grabbed the knife with my left, he's like, "Oh, forget it. Can't work here." I said, "Why not?" "No lefty." So I took the knife in my right hand and I started cutting. And then he was like, "Okay, I guess you can stay." And ever since then, I've been slicing. So now, I'm going to show you the inside of the sandwich. See, now you have all salmon, the cream cheese, the onion, and the tomato.
Amazing.
All right, and that's somebody's gonna have to eat this now, right?
Oh, you've got it.
That's not a problem.
Yes.
Okay, there you have it. A perfect bagel and cream cheese tomato.
So from Russ and Daughters, you know we had to get their classic bagel, everything bagel, cream cheese, a schmear, and lox. And this is actually their Norwegian salmon. Okay, let's take a bite. Really delicious. Extra good. Rivington Guitars was founded on Rivington Street in 1998 before moving to this location on East 4th Street. Howie Statland worked for the original owner before taking over the shop in 2003. Their focus is primarily on vintage guitars, and Howie travels all around looking for the inventory for the shop for these great vintage guitars. So we're going to go inside and check it out. Rivington Guitars neon sign is original from when the shop was on Rivington Street, and it was made by Let There Be Neon. And they also made the other neon signs in the window. Many famous musicians have purchased guitars here, including Walter Becker from Steely Dan, Paul Simon, Robert Plant, Courtney Love, who bought a Rickenbacker that she used on her whole tour, the guys from Radiohead, and Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, who recently bought an acoustic guitar that he customized.
Like my niche is vintage guitars, you know, from the 50s and 60s and 70s. That's my favorite stuff.
Do you have like a favorite?
Yeah, I like Jazz Masters. So my favorite guitar here right now is the 61 Jazz Master.
Oh wow. Oh, you can see it's been well played.
Yeah, I really like Jazz Masters. I play Jazz Masters. This is probably one of my favorites in the store.
Why do you like it so much? Like, do you just like the tone, or you know?
Yeah, the tone and the playability of it. It's a good guitar for experimental music and making noise.
Hudson approves.
Hudson likes it. Good. Jazz Master. Tasty, huh?
If it gets the Hudson approval, that's it, you know?
I also like Les Pauls. This is D9 Les Paul Custom is like the most highly sought after guitar, one of the most highly sought after guitars. This is a reissue of that.
Because you're a guitarist yourself, you know, and a musician, that you can, you know, relate to the customers and.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I know what they're looking for sound-wise. We're more like one-on-one experience. Guys here, they all play guitar. They're all professional musicians who play in bands. So they really know what the player is looking for.
Just like Jeff at Let There Be Neon stated, there's an artistic connection between neon signage and guitars.
Neon's cool. Neon gives you an edge.
Right. They also have an acoustic shop just down the street from their main shop. We're going there now. So this is their acoustic shop, and Howie told us that originally they kept all the acoustic guitars and the electric guitars all in the same location, but when you want to play them and you want to hear how they sound, the acoustic guitars got overpowered by the electric guitars.
Kind of like you and the siren.
Exactly.
This one. This is a 49 Southern Jumbo, 1949.
Oh, wow. Jeff Friedman at Let There Be Neon also created the neon for I Need More. Let There Be Neon also created this newer neon signage for the Russ Daughters Cafe, matching the font, channel letter style, and colors used in the original appetizing store's signage. Russ Daughters Cafe was opened in 2014, 100 years after their shop originally opened on Houston Street. And the fourth generation owners, Joshua and Nikki, decided to open the cafe because they wanted to give their customers who had waited patiently online to buy their goods a place to sit down and enjoy all their specialties, including their smoked salmon. They serve a board with their bagels and bialys, and they have platters, they have egg dishes, caviar, herring. We love the inside of the shop. The shop has all the beautiful little cubbies with the signage, just like the Houston Street store. And there's plenty of places to sit. And there's a really nice lunch counter, like bar area, where they have the little stools and you can order egg creams and sodas and cocktails. The classic board is on the left with bagel, smoked salmon, cream cheese, tomato, onion, and capers.
We always like to sit in one of the booths in the back and get borscht, chopped liver with matzah and pickled red onion, and their amazing eggs Benny, served with smoked salmon and challah bread.
This is the actual Russ & Daughters shopping bag, circa 1950s, from the collection of Calvin Trillin. So we just got their babka ice cream sandwich from the Russ & Daughters Cafe, which you could also get it from the original location on Houston Street, rather. But here it is. So this is their homemade babka, and they make their own ice cream as well. Oh my God, it looks so amazing. Let's try it. It's gonna cool off on this hot day. So good, extra good. guys, we hope you enjoyed our special extended neon-centric episode. Please hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up and share the video if you liked it. We'll be posting new videos weekly.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.